Richie Crampton, Billy Torrance. Billy Torrance versus Richie Crampton.
Continues into this Sunday as we take a look at our competition ladder presented by Lucas Oil. We can see the first round matchups. Crampton and Torrance, the 8 and 9 qualifiers squaring off on the right side of the ladder. We see some compelling stuff happening there with Miller and Austin Brock along with Mike Salinas and Pat Dakin. Both cars making their way towards the fully staged position.
Here we go.
Top fuel officially begins with Richie Crampton and Billy Torrance now. Doing what he has done all season long. When he shows up to races, he goes around 3.741 seconds, 320 miles an hour. Richie Crampton at 376, not quick enough. And Billy Torrance, Tony, is now becoming that top 10 factor everybody's afraid of. That's exactly why that was such a big round for both of these drivers. And we often see that the 8 night qualifiers are very close in terms of matchup. But how often do they come into this matchup with identical lap times?
Norwalk. Norwalk.
With Steve Torrance earlier. All good things must come to an end. A 22 race win streak is over. Is this a new era for Steve Torrance?
You know, honestly, we take these things one round at a time, and it is pretty unique and special to be able to have a streak like that. But at the end of the day, those last 6 races in the countdown is what really counts, and we're working towards trying to be consistent and dominant in that area. So we'll see what we can do. But you know, right now,
Capco Kid, Steve Torrance.
See if Richard Hogan and Bobby Lagana can keep these tracks figured out.
Couple of cars that aim to make tracks. The first
Austin Brock
was lined up next to Terry McMillan.
and Terry McMillan.
As far as the points goes, these are the 9 and 10 cars in points. Austin Brock only 16.
Terry McMillan versus Austin Brock.
He is on the E3 side, Brock on the Toyota side. Identical reaction times to the thousands, and Terry McMillan, a breath of life for the Amalie Top Fuel team. 3.718 seconds, 329 miles an hour. A fine run for the first round as Austin Brock at 375 and 329 didn't have enough. Identical lights, Tony. Yeah, that's what you have to watch for with Austin Brock. You know he's going up there to try to get out the starting line, but Terry McMillan is no slouch. Now, what they pulled off in this first round was a more impressive elapsed time than we thought. I'm pretty sure that Austin Brock and his tuner, Mike Green, tried to plug in at mid-370. They ran exactly that. The biggest problem was no starting line advantage for either of them. For Terry McMillan, one of the best runs of the weekend, and he qualified well. The next 2 cars firing up on the starting
Brittany Force versus Lex June. Here's something about Lex June. Something's wrong with him. But Brittany Force won that round.
This race last year, he has a handle on this racetrack. Lex June's team is having some sort of a problem.
Oh, that's right, you guys. Lex June.
Oh, that is heartbreak for the team that recorded their first United States round win last weekend. It is not entirely unexpected, though. This team working late into the night last night. Our Dodge Tales from the Strip, we got a look in. After yesterday, we got a look in here after his run. Now remember, just a week ago, he won first round in a massive upset against Leah Pritchett. This run here, Leah smokes the tires, pitches sideways, and he manages to wrestle the car down the racetrack. And then yesterday, qualifying here in Norwalk, he had a massive engine explosion when he put himself in the field. Here's the engine explosion yesterday. He kept his foot plugged into it, did qualify for the show. The catastrophic damage, they leveled this car all the way to the frame rails last night. This was 9:30 p.m. They worked until basically sunrise, and unfortunately, somewhere in that process of lack of sleep and everything else, a connection may have been missed. The problem had, and the parachutes triggered before the car was able to fire. Pretty force as a competition single. of the fact that Brittany laid one down, 3.735 at 332.
Yeah, and that's going to make Lex June feel better, believe it or not. When you see that kind of performance, there really wouldn't have been much he could do unless Brittany Force, because she did have a competitor in the other lane, made a mistake. It's not often by this driver and this team. We go to the top end now with Jamie Howe and Terry McMillan.
Terry, I can tell that it's a shot in the arm for the team as your guys make their way down here. How important is this round win to you?
Oh, it's big, man. It's all about points right now. We're in the middle of a point battle and, getting ready for the countdown. And so it was a huge win for us. It's just awesome. The Emily Motor Oil team, we've been kind of struggling on and off a little bit here lately. We think we got our rhythm back. We didn't know for sure, but that pass, I think, proved that we got a car that's going to get down the track again, and that's what we needed. But I want to give a shout-out also to the Town folks, Emily Motor Oil, All-Star Performance, Loud Gas. Man, thanks for sticking with us when the time's been tough. Thank you, guys.
And it is all about points for Terry.
Leah Pritchett, Luigi Novelli.
To move himself to the number 9 spot. Leah Pritchett, E3 Sparkplug side. Luigi Novelli, the well-seasoned racer out of Chicago, trying to for a big upset here. Novelli's got cylinders out, and Leah Pritchett will not fall prey to the upset again 2 weeks in a row as she goes 3.807 seconds, 327 miles an hour, a proven commodity on the starting line. Look at Luigi Novelli, though, an 0.10 reaction time.
That's better than a 10th. That's a lot of performance off the starting line. Good thing for Leah. They had a good setup on that race car.
So the thrash has begun in the pits already. The first couple of pairs down the racetrack. The hard work being done in Billy Torrance's pit area. The talented mechanic servicing the engine as they will get it turned around for round 2. Where Billy Torrance will be facing Brittany Force. Brittany will have lane choice in that battle. And we take one more look. Our slow-mo cam here of Leah Pritchett heading down the racetrack. We're running top fuel here in Norwalk. We're just getting started. Stay with us.
We bought a house.
At Summit Racing Equipment Motorsports Park, a racetrack that has evolved with the sport, has evolved with its ownership, and has turned into one of the most unique drag strips in the country. It is a monstrous drag racing stadium that has the feel of a small-town drag strip. Much of that is due to the Bader family who owns and operates this place.
Norwalk.
$1 ice cream for decades.
Mike Salinas, Pat Dakin.
Brother Mike Salinas may have chomped on some ice cream this weekend, but that is out of his head right now as the line has grown.
A lot of people.
Hundreds and hundreds of people walk, including multiple visits by Tony Pedregon. That's fine. They know him by first name there. That right there is Mike Salinas coming off one of the greatest days of his career, his second career win that he scooped up in Bristol just 1 week ago. His team energized, his team coming off of the win earlier in the season. They do it again in 2-wide competition, and Pat Dakin from Dayton, Ohio, trying to stop him. Pat Dakin's going to do it. Mike Salinas has problems. Raw fuel pouring out of the engine, and Pat Dakin, 3.806 seconds at 324 miles an hour. This guy debuted in 1971 in Columbus, Ohio. He's still kicking today.
Brian, the way these machines work is, for the most part, they will do what you tell them to do, but what you can't factor in is the fact that they make 11,000 horsepower. You can see, appears to be the blower belt that's shredding. That more than likely means the engine is detonating. You can see the raw fuel coming out, so there is some failure. What you can't factor in is the stress, the amount of torque and load that are subjected, or rather the engine is subjected to, and there was some engine failure. Mike Salinas was well in that race until that happened.
Well, let's take a look at our first round ladder, or how the second round is shaping up. Pat Dakin, the biggest surprise out of the number 14 spot, advances. Leah Pritchett waits to find out who her opponent will be. We will now find out who advances between this pair, Clay Milliken and Doug Coletta. Milliken, the better qualified.
Clay Milliken, Doug Coletta.
Taking on Doug Coletta. Coletta, 3.78 seconds, his best effort on the Toyota side of the racetrack. Here we go. And here we go again, another tire-smoking first round for Doug Coletta, and he collects the victory in slightly less dramatic fashion than he did it against Terry McMillan, or in the second round of Terry McMillan at Bristol. Doug Coletta advances. It was ugly, but it's a win light.
Both cars lose traction. The biggest problem, you see that body panel falling off of Doug Coletta's car. That's just from the wind. That's a carbon fiber body panel that can easily be replaced. But off about the 100-foot mark is where Clay Milliken's car car lost traction. Hard to say. Too much clutch, too much power. Doug Glenna's car went about 150 feet beyond that. Did the same thing, but had that momentum that propelled him to the finish line.
Jeez.
So Doug Glenna advances again using the skill and acumen he has accumulated over the years as we have Jordan Vandergriff
Jordan Vandergriff.
and
Steve Torrance, last pair of top field dragsters.
Leah Pritchett looking at the time slip. It was a 1:30 reaction time. Not your best work. How do you recover for round two?
Well, ultimately, I was trying to get it in there super shallow, and I didn't obviously try not to take too long. And all of a sudden, I see him take the top bulb out, and I tried not to look my eyes over there, and then he went. So I just try not to mess things up. I don't care what it looks like to get there, as long as we got that one light. I'll tell you what, it's the best way that we can end the four-way swing with at least one round win right there.
There he is.
Steve Torrance.
Bobby Lagana stepping away from the car. Man works with Richard Hogan tuning this thing. They have a monstrous points lead on the crowd of top fuel competitors. Mike Salinas has already been knocked out. We'll find out if Jordan Vandergriff has any magic here. No, he does not. No magic and no traction whatsoever off the starting line as Steve Torrance cruises to a 374 at 327 miles an hour. Vandergriff was playing dragsters on ice over there.
Yeah, the traction is much more needed than the magic in a case like this. And that's a tough opponent for Steve Torrance, but it was instantly given away by the loss of traction. He really can't blame it on the starting line because plenty of cars have gotten off that starting pad.
It is now Scott
Anton Brown, Scott Palmer. I like to run them in life. Go Anton Brown.
Behind Antron. Can he hang with him? They both smoked the tires. Brown's 039 light gave him an advantage of distance, and he got an advantage to the strike. 417 and 263. We are rapidly turning this baby into a driver's race as Scott Palmer couldn't recover it, goes 511 and loses.
Well, the track temperature started at 103 degrees, but as this first round continues and the day progresses, that sun is going to increase the track temperature. It needs to be what is happening with these high-powered top fuel cars. And Antron Brown, like we expected, so good off the starting line, lost traction, but see how smooth he was off and on the throttle, getting that car to regain traction.
So our competition ladder, presented by Lucas Oil, Antron Brown is advancing on to round number 2.